Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a game between two legends who really need no introduction at all. With the white pieces, we have none other than Mikhail Tal, one of the greatest attacking players of all time, and with the black pieces, we have Bobby Fischer, the guy who took the entire Soviet Union, defeated them, became world champion, and then went crazy. Now, in the game, okay, he was actually 16 years old, so we have a young Bobby Fischer with black, but yeah, let's just get into it. Now, Mikhail Tal here started the game with d4. Fischer replied with knight to f6. We have c4, and after g6, it's clear that Fischer is going for the king's Indian defense. Now, I've covered several games on the channel before that went into this opening, but just as a reminder, or if you're new here, basically this opening makes as its top priority for black kingside development. So, he develops his pieces here as soon as possible, puts his king to safety as soon as possible, and then worries about playing chess later. Now, this kind of hands the center completely to white in the meantime, however Fischer will find ways to deal with that later. Now Mikhail Tal here continues with knight to c3, yeah, bishop to g7, and now e4. And okay, Fischer continues with this plan. Now e5 will kinda hurt, because the space advantage will just be too much. After knight e8, I mean, look at this, pretty much all of black's army is on the back rank. So, okay, this is playable for black, however not ideal. So instead of castling, first Fischer prepares against c5, he plays d6, and then he'll just castle and continue with his life. Now here, Tal continues with bishop e2, just normal development. You have castles by Fischer, knight f3, and Fischer finally strikes in the center and plays e5. However, this looks not all nice and well. However, did Bobby Fischer actually blunder a pawn in move 6? What the hell is happening? If we count the pieces, there's this pawn, this knight attacking on a5, and there's only this pawn defending. So what's happening? Can't we just like take, and win a pawn? Well, as you probably guessed, not so fast, because Bobby Fischer would simply take the queen, and after we retake, he would actually have this very nice knight takes on e4, because it's a sort of knight sacrifice, but not really, because this opens the bishop scope, and after we retake the knight, just bishop takes this knight here on e5, we regain the piece back, we regain our pawn, and where the hell is white center? So black would be doing perfectly fine here. So, Mikhail Tal obviously knows this. This is a standard break on the King's Indian. So Tal just plays d5 and closes things down. Now Fischer continues with normal development. Again, we have knight b to d7. Tal plays bishop g5, and this move is quite annoying for Fischer, because now his knight is pinned, and yeah, his development is kinda clogged here. Now Fischer kicks the bishop, we have h6, bishop h4 kicking the pin, and now Fischer would really like to play knight h5, perhaps knight f4, and use this knight to start posing problems for Tal. However, if he plays knight h5, well, bye-bye queen, obviously. So, to play knight h5, to prepare this, he plays a6. And now you're like, what the hell, bro? What are you talking about? Like, to prepare knight h5, he pushes a pawn on the other side of the board? What the hell are you talking about? Well, the thing is, these guys actually know what they're doing. So, Fischer here would really like to play queen to e8, to then pin the knight, to then play knight h5, knight f4. However, he can't really play queen e8, otherwise knight to b5, attacking c7, and there's really no way to defend c7 without moving the queen back, so this would be kinda awkward for Fischer. So instead of playing queen e8, first he prepares it with a6 to prepare queen e8, then to go knight h5. So yeah, these guys know what they're doing. Now Tal here uses this moment to put his king to safety, he castles, and Fischer now plays queen e8 like I talked about. However, Tal catches wind of this knight h5 plan and plays knight to d2, just opening this diagonal and covering h5. So perhaps now he will shift his attention to the queen side, push his pawns there, put his knight on b3, and yeah, go from there. Now Fischer has to put his knight on another square. h5 is no longer available, so he plays knight h7, and now he has another plan. Perhaps he will play knight to g5, perhaps he will play bishop f6, looking to trade the bishops. A lot of options. Now here, Tal continues with b4. He starts pushing his pawns on the queen side, starts gaining some space there, and we're about to have some fireworks. We have bishop f6, like I talked about. We have the trades of the bishops. Bishop takes on f6, knight h takes on f6, and now knight to b3. Tal positions his pieces, and we're really gonna have a storm going on in the queen side. Now, here Bobby Fischer plays queen e7, just looking to activate this kind of awkward queen here, and Tal does the same, he plays queen d2, but Tal's queen is just superior at this point, like, he actually has a threat. Fischer's queen is like full-blown just stuck here. However, Tal is looking to slide in, so Fischer has to address this. He plays king to h7, just defending this pawn. We have queen e3 by Tal, and now Fischer here plays knight to g8. Best move in this position, because this looks to free up the f-file, and yeah, the pawns are about to start rolling. Now here, Tal plays c5. We have f5 by Fischer, and oh boy, the pawns are rolling in, and yeah, things are about to go boom. Because here, Tal takes this pawn, we have e takes on f5, g takes on f5, and if Mikhail isn't careful, f4, f3, and yeah, he's gonna be in a world of trouble. So he creates the blockade, and best move, he goes f4. Now Fischer takes the pawn, we have e takes on f4, queen takes on f4, avoiding the queen trade. But Bobby Fischer's idea was that once the dust is settled, if we take a look here on the queen side, he can just take this pawn. Again, there's two attackers, only one defender. I mean, there's this pawn, but after it takes, he kind of just wins a pawn, right? Well, not so fast, because now Mikhail Tal starts making his magic. Here he plays bishop to d3, starting to, align the sniper here against Fischer's king. And yeah, perhaps something bad is going to happen for Fischer if he isn't careful. Now, Bobby here calls the bluff. He doesn't believe in Mikhail Tal's attack. He takes this pawn here on b4. He's now attacking the knight and asks Tal the question, what is he gonna do? He thinks that his king is just well defended over here, but let's see, because Tal here plays rook a to e1. Sure, his knight was attacked, but priorities, he attacks Fischer's queen. He plays queen f6, and now the pressure here on this knight is really growing. Like, Fischer must move this knight, Tal must move this knight with knight e2, maybe 10 to d4. He has to touch it. But in fact, in this position, like, I even need to put the glasses on. Wait a second. Mikhail Tal doesn't care. Here he plays rook e6 and just straight up gives the knight. Like, what? But the thing is, Fischer accepts it because he calculated everything, and he argues that this is the time when Mikhail Tal's attack is failed, and he claims that he will defend against it. But yeah, let's see. A lot of people have argued that in the past, and they've lost. Let's see if this case here with Fischer is different. Yeah, bishop takes on f5, and this game could be over in a matter of moves if Fischer isn't careful. For example, king to h8, just rook takes on h6, and Mikhail Tal crashes through. Because after knight takes rook, which is basically forced, queen gets in, king is forced to d8, queen to h7 is straight up mate. So this bishop takes on f5 is really poisonous. So basically rook takes on f5 is forced. Now we have queen takes on f5, of course, but now Fischer argues that the king is perfectly safe here on h8. But the thing is, Fischer probably saw up to this point, and he thought he was doing fairly well until he missed a move here. And yeah, I mean, there's two moves here that are good, but only one like seals the game completely. So pause the video and try to find it. So okay, in this position, if Tal isn't careful, his attack will just be over in a matter of moves, because Fischer is kind of threatening knight to b6, and Tal would lose material, and soon would lose his attack and the game. So he really must keep the initiative, and here he plays the only move, basically the only move that assures it, and he plays rook f3, and this move is way nicer than it looks, and I'll explain why in a second. The other alternative would be something like rook e8. However, this allows the queen to drop back, and if the rook was on f3, Tal could play rook g3 and really just finish the game. So yeah, the queen would just drop back and she would be able to defend her king and the game would just go on. But in the game, after rook to f3 instead of rook e8, there's no queen here. Instead, just rook g3 and yeah, the queen just would have to go back, but then rook e8. So yeah, no can do. And the main point of rook f3, why it's so good, is that it claims that every piece for white is doing its goddamn job. It's insane. Every piece, like both rooks and queen, obviously are looking to attack the black king, but this knight, it looks like he's missing all the action, but not really. He's like the MVP here. He's covering a1, he's covering c1, and the queen can't go down and harass the white king. It's just insane. But yeah, after rook f3, Fischer has to move the queen. He played queen to b2, but now just rook e8, and there's no way to stop, knight g8, or even the rook giving itself in for the last defender of the black king. For example, if a random move is played, just rook takes on g8, king takes, queen to e6 check, and after something like king to h7, rook f7, and this queen has to give up herself, rook takes, king takes, and now even something like knight e4 coming to f5, and game is just over. Nothing really that Fischer can do here. So, as a last resort here, after rook e8, he tried playing knight f6, defending this knight, but this walks into a pin. Sure, it also comes with an attack on the queen, but just queen takes knight, the knight here is pinned, like I said, and after queen takes, rook takes, the game is completely over, both players know it, but it goes on for a couple more moves. Now, here we have king to g7, attacking the king, rook f to f8, and it looks like either the knight is falling or the bishop here is falling. But wait, knight to e7, and this Fischer is just holding down by a thread, because this defends the bishop, and the knight can't really be taken, or just king takes rook. So, yeah, has Fischer found a miracle here? Well, not really, because he's just completely stuck. And to make matters worse here, Tal plays this very cold knight to a5, not even allowing Fischer's pawn to roll forward. It's just cruel at this point. Here Fischer tries passing a move, he plays h5, but nah, Tal just plays h4 and yeah, shuts it down as well. So here Fischer plays rook to b8, we have knight to c4, and after b5 and knight to e5, Fischer finally had enough, and it was in this position, in move 34, that he resigned the game, because there's no way to stop the threats. For example, rook f7 is coming, forking the king in the rook, and for example, if you try running away with the king, just rook takes knight, and yeah, like I said, if Fischer plays, he can't move the bishop, otherwise the rook here falls, and if he plays a random move, just rook f7, king is forced to h6, but now instead of taking the knight, you can actually mate the king, so yeah, and like I said, the knight can also move, otherwise this bishop here is falling, so yeah, really nothing to do. But yeah, that was it. This was, an amazing game between these two chess legends. Sure, Bobby Fischer was only 16, but I think it was pretty interesting nonetheless. Now, if you guys enjoyed, please consider giving a like or subscribing. It really helps. And if you want to suggest some more games or some things I should bring to the channel, feel free to do so. New ideas are always welcome. And yeah, catch you in the next one. Bye.